So good evening. Some of my friends have been anticipating this half of the Biante video that started last night with a Biante and the new classic collectible racing Falcons that you can see there in the background. New Biante from Fex Death, and the new brand, the classic collectibles. And I've been pushing these Biantes on video. I've shown my civilian versions, and I had posted links to Downies where you can buy current Biante models. And I believe in the previous videos, I added information on the classic collectibles brand. So if you're interested in these, look through the video descriptions, and you should be able to find links to buy what's available. Most of it is going to be new old stock, especially the civilian versions of either the Ford or Holden Australian cars from Biante mini cars. I don't believe that they actually make civilian cars anymore. It seems mostly to be the V8 Supercar series, or the Australian Supercar series. What we have here are two Holden Commodores. The VX Commodore Holden Racing Team, driven by Jason Bright, number 2. And we're going to take this out of the box and off the plinth in a second. And then the VZ Commodore Holden Racing Team 2006, driven by Todd Kelly, number 22. So these are both the same race team, but obviously different years, several years apart. So let's get Jason Bright out of the package. And this VX Commodore was produced by Holden from the year 2000 to year 2002. And these were, as they put it, executive saloons, or the equivalent of our, in the U.S., a full-size sedan. So think, Chevy Impala. All right, so this is, obviously these are true Biantes. So Biantes generally have one screw with a sliding peg up on, a sliding mount up on top. So one screw goes in, and then the car is stabilized by this. Actually, no, this one doesn't have it. So let's take a look at this. So as I said, this is the VX Commodore, produced between 2000 and 2002, and this is the Australian Supercar series. So looks like no inserted details on the front, but this is a race car, so but some nice openings. You can see there the texture on the grills. Looks like painted on hood pins, much like the Biante from last night. You can see the single racing wiper. You can see the roll cage and the single driver's seat on the right hand side through the front windscreen. Some very nice detailed racing rims, racing liveries. No mirror on this side, but there is on the driver's side, and it has a little reflective paint there. No inserted details, just painted details on the taillights. A nice wing. I think that's plastic. So, of course, this is a metal body plastic base with authentic wheels and rubber tires. Biante mini car Holden Commodore, made in China. And you can see some nice details on that independent rear suspension. You can see the drive shaft. You can see the transmission. The exhaust system is not painted here, and it's kind of odd that it has three pipes coming out of the single muffler, but that is what it is. You can see a black dashboard and seat and white roll cage and white interior panels. And so these Biantes are very nice models. I know that my friend David Johns of Twice Diecast, he's a Biante fan. My friend Tiz, 2A HD Cat, he's also a Biante fan and a Holden fan because he at heart is a General Motors person. My friend Big Dat Pacino was saying in comments he really wants to get one of these. Damien, look in the links in the description of the videos, and if you want, I'll email you information on the American buyers that I got these from. Even Chasing Diecast Cars mentioned that he was able to get an inexpensive Biante model because of information I shared, and that's the way it is here in this community. We all try and share information to help other collectors out. I learned about Biante from several channels, most memorably from David of Twice, but also from Fex Death and from others. I'd always had a fascination with Australian cars. Not so much race cars, but then again, I do like these V8 Supercars more than NASCAR, because as I've griped before, NASCAR hasn't been based on real cars in decades. So this is a real sweet model. You can see this is the actual Holden Racing Team, which co-sponsored by Mobile One prominently. So you can see the lion as part of that company crest graphics, and then the racing helmet, and then Mobile One. There's a lot of nice sponsor decals, and you can see the driver's name there. This is Jason Bright. HSV. What is that in the middle? Is that the lion's head? Yeah. Holden Special Vehicles. PPG paint. Mobile One. So that's a nice model. Let's put that there. So funny enough, Jason Bright raced for the Holden Racing Team up until 2002, and the following year, in 2003, Todd Kelly basically took over his spot on the team. Jason Bright had moved on to another racing team. So this is a VZ Commodore that was made from 2004 to 2006. And being an American, I initially thought, oh, well, that's the same as the American GTO, and I looked it up because I needed to be reminded that no, it's not. Oh, cool. Another one of these Biante mini car catalogs in the bottom of the base. And so, again, the Commodore is a full-size car, and then the American GTO is based off the Monaro, which would be the next level down, just slightly down in size. And the Monaro was a two-door and a ute. But what we did get in the United States that is based on the VZ is the Pontiac G8, and then, of course, the Chevy SS. So the G8 replaced the GTO in the American showrooms and was not available as a two-door, but only a four-door. And then when the Pontiac division was axed in 2008, eventually Chevy dealers were lucky enough to get the Chevrolet SS, or sometimes called the Caprice, or Caprice SS. So again, Biante what is it? Biante Mini Cars Holden Commodore, made in China. Let me see this. Yeah, that should have stayed on the base. So again, the three tailpipes coming out of, so you can see the nice details, the nice molded details. They painted the transmission, the dry shaft, and on this one, the muffler with the three tips. Now, trying to see if that is painted or inserted details for the taillights. I think that might actually be inserted. And the headlights also on this one seem to be lensed inserts with an NGK spark plug graphic laid over them. Nice Holden emblem in the grille, and to my eye it looks like there are slats there. It's not just flat black. So again, single mirror on the driver's side, single racing windshield wiper. Dashboard and seat are black, as is part of the roll cage there. The rest of the roll cage is white. The rear deck bulkhead is red. There's a lot of nice details on this model. Very similar wing. I think the mount is different on it. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the newer one has the two struts in the center, and the older one has more spread out on the trunk lid. Again, Mobile One, prominent like sub sponsor, secondary sponsor, and then Gillette, PPG, Dodo. I don't know what that is. Probably an Australian brand of something. Donuts? I don't know. If anybody from New Zealand or Australia knows what Dodo is, let me know in the comments. It's always nice to learn new things. So again, this aggressive Holden Lion. And there is Mr. Kelly's name on the window. Some of these smaller graphics are just too small for you to read, like the racing net, safety net right there. Even on the back of the mirror, it says Dodo. Dodo. Biante Mini Cars was obviously a sponsor. So this is very cool. I love these wheels, and you can see the red in the center. So that's these were hub locks. Instead of having lug nuts, they had a single hub nut, so they could get the wheels on and off quicker with just one nut in the center in a race. And I've actually seen on video Australian supercar racing, and I find it more interesting than American NASCAR for several reasons. It's not just turning one direction. It's back and forth. It's very competitive, but also the main reason has always been because they resemble street cars. For example, in the United States, NASCAR originally was basically the big three, General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. They're different brands. And the engines were based on production models, but these days you have Toyota Camrys and Ford Mustangs and Chevy Camaros. But a Toyota Camry is a front-wheel drive, 4 or 6 cylinder family sedan. And they use for NASCAR. They have bodies that sort of resemble the cars, but of course nothing underneath. No body panels are shared, and the engine is from the Toyota pickup. And I think the only reason Toyota still sells pickups in the United States is so they can use those engines in NASCAR, because Toyota pickups, which the Toyota Tundra is really only sold in the United States. I don't think it really sells very well outside. I think it was designed for the U.S. market. Is not a big seller. You see them, yes, but nowhere near the numbers. I mean, obviously Ford is the biggest seller. So I'm ranting now. But you know, American NASCAR is not relevant, whereas these British touring car champions, German DTM, Japanese touring car champion, and the V8 Supercar, they were more relevant because you'd see BMW 3 Series or 5 Series, you'd see the Volvo 850 Estate. They were based on production vehicles with loosely based on production chassis and so forth. They had some body panels. They're just more relevant. So these are some sweet models. And again, for those of you that have my email address, reach out to me if you need any information on the sellers that I use to get these. So much like last night where I pulled out that civilian version, I don't have a civilian version of these, but I do have this older mid 80s VC SLE Holden Commodore here from Biante in this beautiful blue. And again, this is a stock car, but absolutely stunning. Now, I know a couple of folks who picked these up around the same time as I did from Downey's. I believe Downey's is sold out on this blue one, but the last time I checked a few weeks ago, they still had a similar one in red, a bright red street version. Downey's has tons of the V8 Supercar series from both Ford and Holden, but the street cars like this BA XR8 are becoming harder to find. You're going to basically find those on the secondary market. And here is Hot Wheels, their 2006 Pontiac GTO, which is, most people know, is based on a Holden Monaro. And so, I mean, now that's a nice casting, not a perfect casting from Hot Wheels. And then also, luckily because of my friend Fexdeath, who sent me this last year as part of a gift, I have the Matchbox '08 Holden VE Ute here. So SSV, special, what does that stand for? SSV. I'm slipping. I just said it before what it stood for and I forgot. So if anybody remembers what SSV stands for, let me know. But this Matchbox this green is beautiful. It reminds me of the Camaro green that came out in 2011. They do nice printing for the headlights and grill and so forth on this. No wild graphics on the back, and some decent graphics for the tailgate and tail lights. So these 5 models, basically that's my entire yes, that is my entire Holden collection. So that's 2 nights of Australian supercars, and will not be the last video I do this week on Australian cars. To those that have expressed birthday greetings, thank you very much. My birthday is actually tomorrow. So I'm thrilled to have these, and I have one more package. I may do a video either tomorrow evening or Friday morning on the last Australian special that I teased, and of course I will tease that again. That's my next video. And then things should probably calm down for a while. So obviously people have shown interest in these Biantes. As I said, either in the comments or through a direct email, let me know. I'll see what information I can give you. I have bought from 3 different sellers on eBay based in Australia, and now 2 sellers based in the United States for the Biantes and Classic Collectibles and Road Ragers. So It's all about sharing the information. So like, share, subscribe, comment down below. I look forward to reading and then getting back to everybody on their comments. Have a good night. Thank you.